What's up guys, it's Flameon from Flameon Miniatures, and today I have for you the second part of the video tutorial about painting the helmet of my Easterling warrior miniature from Middle-earth strategy battle game. And in the first part of the tutorial you could see how I am creating the sketch for placing the reflections and shadows in the right places on the helmet to create the illusion of using metallic paints while using regular yellow and brown colors. So yeah, in this video I will present to you the process of creating smooth color transitions between the layers of colors that you already saw. And right now you can see you could see for a moment the real speed of work, and now of course the speed up video. And the thing is that when I'm creating smooth color transitions, I'm painting tiny stripes with the color from the brighter layer over the borders of the brighter and the darker layer. Like for at this moment, as you can see, I'm using the mixture of yellow ochre and silver gray 50-50% for painting the brightest reflective area, and also to paint tiny stripes, tiny vertical stripes on the borders of this and a bit darker layer of color. And I'm working in the same way almost always, except for a few situations that I will talk about later. Like right now I'm using pure ochre brown, and as you can see I was painting, just like I said, tiny stripes around the layer painted with ochre brown and the layer painted with the mixture of ochre brown and black. But then I can make also another thing, but in the meantime you can see another presentation of this. So painting once again tiny stripes with the brighter color over the borders of the brighter and the darker area, or in this case edges. But sometimes I can also dilute my paint in bigger percentage, dilute my paint more, and then I can also paint the stripes with more diluted paint, and then I can use it on brighter layer, and the effect that I get from it is creating more saturated color. And the whole thing about my technique is to create tiny stripes. So I'm applying, of course first I'm cleaning my brush. Maybe start here. I'm using Winsor & Newton Series 7 size 2 brush. So I clean it in a jar full of tap water. Then I remove most of the water in a piece of paper towel. Later I try to sharpen, let's say make movements that look like sharpening the brush on a piece of paper, regular paper this time, trying to create a spiky end, to have a pointy tip. And then I put tip of my brush on the paint, as you can see on the top right side of the video all the time, and I'm applying a small amount of paint. Then when I have it, if I see that the shape of the tip of the brush became not pointy enough for me, then I'm once again making movements that look like sharpening the paintbrush. It's important for you to remember that before you start painting you can actually make the shape of the tip better just working with it on a piece of paper. I'm just moving along the shape of the hair to achieve that. And then I have a pointy end, and with that I am able to paint really tiny, really thin stripes of paint. And my paint is never dense, it's rather more diluted paint, but I get dilution not from diluting the paint on the palette, but I have water on my paintbrush, and because I am applying just a really small amount of paint, as you can see on my palette, I'm making a few movements on the palette. So I'm basically starting sharpening the paintbrush in there. I'm trying to make a shape of it already on the palette, and usually that's enough. That's all I need. And then I have a small amount of paint with good enough amount of water on my paintbrush that was already on the paintbrush. Then I am painting really tiny stripes, as you can see, usually with brighter color of the borders of the brighter and the darker color. Sometimes, like when I'm painting here shadows, like I said before, I am applying a little bit, well, just more paint, more water to my paint to achieve, then I have more diluted paint, and with more diluted paint I am creating more transparent stripes, and while their covering is weaker than thicker paint, at the same time it dries really quickly with this technique, so I can apply dozens or even hundreds of stripes in really short period of time. And then I have really smooth color transitions because they are half transparent, so I can make really delicate progression on colors thanks to them. This is in this way it is very much like the glaze technique, but the only difference is that I'm not applying with the side of my brush, but with the tip of it and with more diluted paint. So this is a very precise technique, and it works in the way that I just described. So that is, I think, I don't know if I can describe my technique better, but you can see it on the video right now. Of course, there are always these steps when I'm, like right now, using black paint for creating better shadows and shapes of details on the model. I could actually paint some shadows on the bottom part of this helmet, but you can see that this is quite a long video tutorial for YouTube anyway, so I had to resign from a few things. It works perfectly with the orcish helmet because I was painting just the front of it, but here I wanted to paint the entire helmet, so it took a bit more time. And yeah, so this is, yeah, so you can also think about my technique as you can imagine that you are trying to paint shadows on a drawing using a pencil. If you push it strongly to the paper, then you leave very visible mark with your pencil. And if you barely scratch the surface of the paper with your pencil, then you're leaving very small amount of color. And in this way you are creating brighter and darker shadows on your drawing. This works very similar. If I want to have a very delicate color transition, then I try to touch the surface of the miniature less and less, because then I'm leaving smaller amount of paint on it, even thinner and more delicate. And well, this is basically how it works. It might sound complicated, but it's pretty simple. You just need to try it out to get how it works, and I think it gives you a really good precision of work. So, and that's almost basically, yeah, I think I could say that I'm using almost exclusively this technique. And so yeah, that is the explanation of my technique of creating smooth transitions. And now for some time I will just show you how I'm using it. And like I said, the speed of this video is 300, which means that it's 3 times quicker than in reality. And yeah, so I, as you can see, yeah, I had to split the video into 2 to keep it more entertaining and easier to take at once. And yeah, now we have two videos, one about creating the sketch and another about creating color transitions, which seems like an interesting and comfortable decision, comfortable for people watching this, viewers. I hope you agree. I know that I imagine that if I would upload this as a one hour video, that would look a bit like too long to watch, but now it's easier. Yeah, wow, I don't know exactly what to talk about for the rest of the video. I think that everything is explained pretty well. So yeah, I think I will stop my commentary here because yeah, I really don't know what to talk about. So yep, I will be back on the end of the video and to thank you for watching it. In the meantime, please consider subscribing to my channel and giving a thumb up. That would be great. That's helpful. It helps me to reach bigger audience, to present my videos to more people. That would be great. Okay, so now I'm out. I will be on the end of the video with the final comment and thanks. So see you then. Okay, so that would be it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video tutorial and now you have better understanding of how my technique works. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave a thumbs up. You can also consider supporting my work on Patreon, that would be really great. And see you on the next video tutorial. Bye!